Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Welcome on the Grasshopper Tekla workshop. It's a fourth workshop that we are having. And as always, if you can just write on the chat if you can hear me well and you can see the screen. I have with me Greg. Greg, can you hear me?
Yes, very clearly. And you?
Yes, I can hear you as well. So we'll start exactly at 2 p.m. Central European Time. So still 4 minutes. So please take some water. We have plenty of people already. We have Leszlo. Hi, Leszlo. We have Zoltan. Hi, Zoltan. It's Zoltan that helped you actually with some developments. Maybe
He had some great ideas about how this flow can be represented.
that's good that we have Tobiasz as always waited for that session so long. Tobiasz was one of the first who said, "Okay, Chris, that's great with all the Grasshopper and modeling, 3D modeling of this crazy geometry of roofs and buildings, but I'm working with drawings. What about drawings?" And I always said, "Okay, you have to wait." But now finally we have the workshop. We have already 100 people. That's cool to see so many. We have Alexander. Hello, Stefano. Hello, Anders. Jamie. Nice to see. Where are you based right now, Greg?
I live in Poland, in the western of Poland, near Poznań. Poznań is not the biggest city. It is not the capital of Poland, but it is one of the biggest ones. So I live in a rural area around the city. So
Yeah.
especially now, it's very cozy and nice to have the direct connection with the nature.
Yeah, the summer in Poland is coming. We had met together in Poznań together with Greg a couple of months ago. It was not cozy weather as as it was before, but it was cool to meet together and talked about the Grasshopper Live Link connection. I think that everyone is hearing us well. That's good to hear. Before we're going to presentation, I have a question to you. Have you heard about Grasshopper Tekla Drawing Link? And the question for all of you, if you ever heard about that. Many of you I know that heard about Grasshopper Tekla Live Link, but someone I tried to promote together with Greg lately. Greg has also YouTube channel. Let's Construct IT.
Yes, exactly. It was. Let's find out some fancy name for this community.
Yeah, that's a good name. So just let us know if you ever downloaded. I don't know how many downloads do you have already. Do you have some numbers, Greg, about this Grasshopper Tekla drawing link?
Not really. Not really. I am not checking the numbers. I am not the big fan of numbers. I really appreciate those individual users or companies who are using the tool and that they are connecting me and raising new feature requests or some ideas how it should work, like Zoltan did in the past.
Mario, first time I hear about it. Matteo heard about it, so that we have mixed. Some of people heard it. It's still this link. It's not still on the Tekla warehouse, but actually we talked with Sebastian about that, and maybe in the future it will be available in the warehouse. We will see. We'll see. But now it's for those. We are going to talk about all of that in the presentation, but it's an open source. I see already some question about the price. This is open source project, right?
Yes, exactly. Honestly, the price cost is only on my side, so I had to buy the Rhino license, but for you, it's completely free.
Yeah, and actually, had you from the start, it was the aim that it will be for free for everyone to use.
Yes, definitely, because I wanted to check this kind of a workflow. So for me, of course, I spent a lot of time in development of this link, but I learned much more. And there are those moments in your life when you have to invest your time to get new skills, to upskill or reskill. So for me, I'm not looking into that project from the money perspective, but mainly from the opportunities and, completely different way of thinking, because the grasshopperish learning curve is very, very, I would say, tricky. So at the beginning, you see only those lines, those blocks, and you say, hey, what's going on? It's so easy. But when you look into the details, then it starts getting more interesting.
Did you know that someone is writing master thesis about this connection?
No, not directly, but there was one guy who direct messaged me that he would like to automate some procedures and connect it with his work on the university. So
we
nice.
have Oni together with us, Kainen. So he is already writing thesis. So that's interesting. Okay, it's 2 p.m. Central European time. We have tons of examples Greg prepared for us about drawing automation. So let's start it as always. We are live on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. If you can just leave a like underneath, it will help me a lot to reach more people. So today workshop, it will be 1.5 hours, but for sure if it will be more questions, so we will try to stay, but we'll try to keep it in 19 minutes. Recordings will be available to watch later. Link will be sent to all the registered on the learngrasshopper.com/workshop Tekla Drawing. You can also scan with this QR code. I also send the link on the chat. Grasshopper files. Greg prepared some Grasshopper files. Interesting. Have you chosen which drawing automation you are going to share?
There are 13 examples from steel, concrete, GA, different sort of drawing operations. And I don't believe that we will be able to cover all of them during today's workshop, but all of them, they will be in this Grasshopper script. So you will get all of them to try to find out what you really need from this big sort of components.
Great. So I think like every Tekla user, nevertheless, if you're working with bridges, concrete, precast, steel, you will find something for yourself. And as always, Tekla workshop on Learn Grasshopper are for you. You are the most important as our users and watchers. So if you have any questions to me or Greg about the live link, what can be achieved, what cannot, so there will be Q&A session. I will try to also ask the question during the workshop. So benefits of joining the workshop. First, we'll see how to start with Grasshopper Tekla Drawing Link. Greg will show us how his story began with the developing of this live link and how to actually download it and how to install it. Next, as Greg said, we are going to see practical application on drawing tasks. That is something new in our industry. Until now, everyone was talking about the automation of 3D models. Now we are talking about drawings, which is awesome. And the last one, for everyone register on learngrasshopper.com/workshop Tekla Drawing, you will get all these examples which will be presented. So we started in January, actually, with the first workshop, 5 easy steps to start with Grasshopper Tekla Live Link. Next, second workshop was about automating Tekla reinforcement. In March, I had a guest, Tautovides from Doka company, and this workshop was amazing about creating your own custom components, how he is using that one, and how he also shares that with the Doka customers. So really recommended to watch it. So every link which I'm adding right here, so they are still available to watch and also to download all the materials, exercises, and homeworks that were provided in every single workshop. So this was a previous workshop. Now we are about drawings in Tekla. So before we are starting, just 2 words about me. My name is Krzysztof Wojslaw. You can call me Chris. I was fun, like showing, just seeing our names at the start, and I said, like, we are both Polish. So my name is Krzysztof, and Greg is actually Grzegorz. And actually, I was saying, okay, Krzysztof and Grzegorz are going to conduct this workshop, and I said, no, we cannot do that for people. So I said, okay, Chris and Greg, it can be simple. I'm a founder of Learn Grasshopper platform, the platform which aims to transform engineering work into fun. So, and today, this workshop actually it will be to change this manual task that every single Tekla user have to do right now into more fun, because we two of us, we are really believing that we can have a lot of fun even making Tekla drawings. I'm also working as an academic lecturer when I at the student universities in Norway. We are teaching actually students on the last year already Grasshopper, Python, and C#. So they are already starting after graduating with programming. So we can see really this transformation, and students, graduated students are coming to work and starting with automatization from the first day. But today workshop we are going to have will be with Greg. Hello again, Greg. We are going to start your presentation. So Greg is a .NET developer. So actually, we can say that is a Tekla super hyper user. It's not just super user, because you are going beyond that, because for everyone who knows Tekla API, I will consider that is like some level over super user. And Greg, he used his personal time to develop the link between Grasshopper and Tekla Drawing. We all know Grasshopper Tekla Live Link that I've been promoting and using. Sebastian from Trimble created that. And I had several talks with Sebastian if Trimble is going to implement this drawing link. And he said there is too much work for him for Grasshopper Live Link, that he does not have any time for drawings, because there's so much components. But Greg, after his work, is using to develop this connection. So once again, thank you very much for developing, and I hope that you can present today's how actually it started. So maybe we can start with all the story behind it, when it started.
Thank you, Chris, for this warm welcome. And it's quite funny because it was started over 1 year ago. It was the end of the March, and as you said, it's always nice to see the past, to see the history, because okay, we are now at some point, but how we get to that point, what were the initial assumptions, and based on that we can assume what will happen next. So that's as you said, I am a .NET developer. I know the Tekla Open API. I would not say that I am the super user, because I am seeing the Tekla from a little different perspective than the typical user. I am looking it through the code. And I'm doing it for a quite long time. But in 2019, I participated in the Tekla Developer Awards. And from that point, I am very, I have a big interest in the Tekla Awards overall. So when 1 year later, it was the time of the Grand Selva Bridge, it was awarded as the best BIM project. And for me, it was the first time when I heard about the combination of the Grasshopper and Tekla. So Chris, big thanks for you and for the all Speco team that you shared the details, because of course probably it was used before, but here we were able to see more details. Okay, so what is going on, how this link is working, and where you find the best place to use it. But as usually, when you hear of something for the first time, then your mind is saying that, yeah, maybe, it is not so important to spend more time. And also, that was the example of the bridge. And bridges are quite unique piece of infrastructure. So I said in 2020, okay, let's do our work as always. But then, in the next iterations of the Tekla BIM Awards, there were more and more projects which were stating that they used the power of the Grasshopper Livelink. And it was not saying that they are using the Tekla Open API, but the main, the main distinctive feature of those projects was the Grasshopper usage. So then I started to thinking, okay. So this Grasshopper is certainly uprising. This trend is going on, and I started to feel a little worried because I am a .NET developer. I know the Tekla Open API. I feel quite confident. And then I see a lot of people on the LinkedIn with this computational designer name, and I see those projects, and I feel that something is changing. So then, there are those thoughts in your mind that, okay, maybe I will be redundant. Maybe
Have you been worried that you will miss the work?
Exactly. It was the starting point when I said, okay, I have to dig deeper, much deeper into the Grasshopper. How is it working? What are the capabilities to see if I will be replaced or not? So that was the starting point for me. And I tried. I found quite a lot of different materials prepared by the Sebastian, all of those amazing stuff what Chris, you are doing and sharing for the free. So I get better recognition. But still, when you are just watching, seeing some examples, it will not give you that feeling. How does it work? So still, as I said, I felt a little worried because I have not found the correct answer for the question: is the computational designer will replace the software development in the civil engineering or not? And as you can see, the software development for the civil engineering is the huge part of my career. So I'm developing for that area for 10 years. I started as an AutoCAD extension developer. Then I switched to the Tekla structures, and I utilize its API. And yeah, I think that the Tekla is the best for the structural engineers. But as usually people are saying, oh, what are they using is the best. But truly, I like that software. I like this API. But after that, I found out that, Chris, you are organizing this kind of webinars like we are currently. So it was the webinar held 1 year ago, and Sebastian Lindholm from Trimble was your guest. And it was a very good presentation about what you can achieve with the Livelink, what fancy geometries can be created. And during this meeting, I was watching, seeing, and I realized that, okay, everything what is presented is related to the model. But in Tekla, in real life, you are spending some time in model, but some time in drawing. So what about the drawings? And
I would say that it's more than 70% that you are spending in drawing.
It always depends on the company. So some numbers will be higher, some numbers will be lower. But when we don't have anything for the drawings, then the question is why? And I asked because I thought that maybe those Grasshopper way of thinking, Grasshopper connecting with the Tekla, it makes it invalid for the drawings. So that's why during one of those webinars in the past, I asked this question. And I think that it was the foundation point for the whole development. That Sebastian answered, as you said before, that he don't see limitations, some technical risks in that development, but it's only the matter of time. That the Livelink was developed, was thinked for just a model, and scratching the drawings, it will take a lot of time. And
in addition, I will add that also Sebastian mentioned that, Chris, because I asked the same question and he said, Chris, but in Norway you are already model-based project, you are not delivering drawings. So what we are doing that they will be, we have to skip this drawing in the future. But I have to say that it's take time, a lot of time still. After 8 years already in Norway doing model-based project, we still in some project have to deliver. It's just on the bridges, buildings, we have to still deliver, especially prefabricated elements, steel elements. So don't worry, we are going to still deliver drawings for a couple of years, maybe more than couple.
Yes, you're right. It is quite troublesome transition from the drawing to model-based. Of course, you prove that it is possible, but it will take time, and we can sit down and wait, or we can act somehow. And let's just see that after a year of development, and because it was 1 year ago, after a lot of commits. So by the commit, you can think that it was saving of some meaningful portion of the code. So after a lot of work done after the normal work, we have something, and I hope that you will see what exactly can be achieved with the drawing link. But here is the answer. What was questioned at the beginning, that it's completely free. You can use it in a small company, in a big company, as a personal, as an academia, however you would like. So this license gives you all of the possibilities. Even if you really want, you can sell it as your tool. It's completely free. And for the development part, there are two guys. There is of course me, and also there is the Claudio Strugar, who helped with some text and mark components. So Claudio, if you are listening to this webinar, big thanks for your participation.
Can you just say one word about GitHub that we are seeing, because many people are not familiar with the GitHub? Just one sentence. What is GitHub and what we are seeing here right now?
Okay. So GitHub is a platform, is a website, which is the host for the open source project. So when you want to create something for the community and you don't want to make money on that, you are hosting it on a GitHub and giving everyone a free access. And it comes with two things. So everyone can use your tool, but also everyone can contribute. And they can add their value by writing some code, or by just raising some issues. So saying that, okay, we would like to have more components in that area, or maybe those components are not working as we expected. So GitHub is a place when there is the code, but also there is the community. And that is the most important for me, to have as close contact with the recipients, with the users of the drawing link as possible. And this is exactly now we see the list of issues. So by the issue, I mean that someone has some problem, some idea, or just some question how those components are working. And from that point, I would like to say big thanks for everyone who raised their issues publicly. Of course, there were a lot of people who did it, but by the private messages. But I really like the public communication, because there would be always a trace in the history of this project that someone asked for that kind of a feature. It was developed in that version, and we have the history. We have something to know, okay, what was the context of those decisions. So just if you would like to say any words about the drawing link, raise some issue on the GitHub. And yeah, I think that I will now just drink some water. If I can, and
yeah, sure. So we will. So we are going to talk about project timeline, about like all these components that we have. Because when I installed Grasshopper drawing link, I was really scared about all the new components, because actually it's more components in the drawing link than in the live link, because of course, drawing maybe are a little bit more complicated, and they have more options, right?
There are two factors. The first one is that I'm trying different things, different solutions. So I really believe in this closed feedback loop. So I am adding some components and receiving the feedback about, okay, is it working or not working? This is the first argument. And the second one is, as you said, that in the model area, almost every object is inheriting from the model object. In the drawing, we have a combination of things which are coming from the model directly, and those which are annotated later in the drawing. So it makes things a little more complicated. And
so now you are going to just play the video. So now you are showing how all the commits and new components.
I just wanted to show you that the development of that project is a continuous work. As I said, I started 1 year ago, and maybe not with every day, but with every week, with every month, there are some changes. There are some new components because someone asked for them. So this is the constant work, and this is not the part of my normal work. So I am not spending 8 hours per day, and it will be done in a month. When you are doing such development of hours in the evenings or during the weekends, then the total time spent on that is quite big. So now we are just seeing all of those changes, how they were located on the timeline. And that's, the drawings are not so visually pleasing as the model, as all of those curves in the Grasshopper. So I will not present many fancy presentations, fancy slides about some curves, some roofs, but I will just show you that the timeline is quite long. It is 1 year of development spent on that.
Really amazing work. So let's go now to presentation and maybe show some components that actually what we are having in the Grasshopper drawing link.
Exactly. And as you said, it can be overwhelming at the beginning. So you are clicking Tekla Drawing, and then whoa, what is going on? Why is there so many of them? But they are grouped in some categories. So with the drawing link, you can of course create new drawings. You can modify them or get their properties. You can create new views or modify the views, because sometimes it is more rewarding to just create the drawing, the views with the Tekla and only edit them after. Then there is the whole thing of migrating, of transferring between the model objects and the drawing objects. Because of course, Tekla drawings are not the AutoCAD things, that they are not just a set of lines without the logic. Tekla drawings are coming directly from the model. So when you select the model in the drawing, you can get the properties of those objects. And this is the base of the logic. This is the foundation of your annotations, of your text, dimension lines. Then, of course, you can specify how those objects should look on the drawing, which colors, which type of the lines. And then there is quite a lot to do with the transition from the 3D to the 2D. So you have to do some projections, some sorting, some grouping, and all of them, it can be done with, vanilla Grasshopper components, but I wanted to make it much easier. So this is why there is the separate category quality of life, that almost every from those components is inside just a merged sequence of some Grasshopper components, which are combined into one box. So
can you give an example? Like, for example, what kind of components? It's like sorting all the views on the sheet, or
no. Here I'm mainly referring to the converting, to the casting the shadow of the viewer into the plane. So in the model you have the 3D representation of objects, but in most of the views you are working on the plane. So those has to be converted. And then the question is, okay, so if this part has holes in that view or not, and I'm interested in the bounding box or not, and more questions will appear. You can also set some UDAs for the drawings, and it can be especially helpful when you would like to reiterate your drawing objects. So then you will get the information which were created with the drawing link. You can insert the drawing plugins, and this is, I think, that the thing which is not available with the Tekla itself, because Tekla has a quite nice set of drawing plugins, but you have to insert them manually, and it's time-consuming. So with the help of the drawing link, you can automatize this process of inserting the plugins. And then, of course, what is the most important? The dimensions, the text, the lines, the section detail marks, all of this, what is usually connected with the most time spent on the drawings.
Yeah, all this painful and time-consuming work.
Exactly. Because this is not the placing the view, just moving them here and there, it's a short operation. But when you have to deal with a multiple of drawings and you have to create dimension lines for them, then the life hits you brutal. So that's okay. So we have a ribbon with a lot of components, but probably you are now thinking, okay, so how this tool can be installed? And
Yes.
as you said, it is hosted on the GitHub. So if you go to this link, hyperlink, which is visible at the bottom of this slide, you can click on the releases. This is this rectangle at the bottom right corner. But if you are already using the Grasshopper Drawing Link, then if you feel that it is worth, then please just give me a star. And usually on the YouTube you are telling that, hey, please give likes or subscribe. But for me, those stars are quite important, because I said at the beginning of this project, maybe not at the beginning, in the middle, that when I will hit 20 stars, and I'm so close, so I hit 15, then it will be the time to, finally start the Baldur's Gate 3, which is still waiting for me, because all of the free time is going here. So the 20 stars, it will be like, throwing with your dice the critical hit. So if you currently using...
Greg, I'm not sure if I'm going to promote it, because if you are going to play that, you will forget about this project and you already leave it. So
okay.
And we are going to share. No, we are going to share this presentation after the workshop, so you will get the link and everything. So don't worry.
And there is also the rectangle, the orange one, when you can place your thoughts, your ideas, or raise some bugs. So that is the GitHub. And when you click the releases, there will be the list of them. But always, you should always look into the newest one, which is the most stable with the most components added. And as you can see, or maybe not, because it could be a little small, but the Drawing Link is supporting Tekla from 2019 to 2023. So you have to pick the GHA file from that list, download it, and after that, like with the standard live link, unblock the file. And so right-click Properties and unblock, apply, and then you have to, you can drag and drop it to the Canva of the Grasshopper, or you can, in a more old-fashioned way, just copy the file, just to get this feeling of copying and pasting in the right location. And
Greg, I have a good. Sorry to interrupt. I have a good message. You have already 20 stars. So
it was so quick, so quick. But okay.
So and already Eliud already. Don't hear him. Go play. It's awesome.
Yeah.
So goodbye, Greg. Thank you for this presentation.
Okay. I was a kid when I was playing the first Baldur's Gate, and when this nostalgia is deeply inside of us. That's But okay. We have a presentation to conduct. So
okay. So just to remind, we always have to unblock as the same as it with the live link, and we have already questioned. What about version 2024? Are you going to release it for Grasshopper Tekla Drawing? Because we have already version 2024.
Yes, but I'm waiting for the official live link for 2024, and I checked, I think yesterday at the warehouse, and it was not yet there. So I will follow Sebastian, because this project, is using a lot of the same concept as Sebastian. So when someone is congratulating me that, great work with the Drawing Link, then I am usually responding that, hey, the godfather of the whole connection between the Tekla and Grasshopper is the Sebastian Lindholm from Trimble. He is, the brain of the whole communication, how it should work. So when he will release the live link, I will be the second.
Okay, Max. So we have to wait for Sebastian then.
Okay, and after moving this file, you will get the link, the Drawing Link installed. And what does it mean that you will have it installed? So you will get the ribbon with all of those components, and also you will get the main menu at the top of the Grasshopper, just to select, delete, or bake all of the objects. So if you will be interested at the end of the presentation, then just please follow those steps. And as Chris said, this presentation with all of those hyperlinks, all of those screenshots, it will be sent to you together with the script. So you will be able to replicate those examples.
So you are getting this ribbon at the top, like drawing click, as we have like Tekla and drawing click. So you can select our objects, you can delete all objects and bake objects to Tekla. So it works the same, like if you are baking, so now you are missing the link between the drawing and the Grasshopper, right?
Exactly. And I try to not reinvent the wheel once more. So the biggest part of the communication between the Tekla and Grasshopper was done by the Sebastian, and he established some routines, some typical ways how things should work. So I am just behind him and trying to reuse the same concepts, but in the drawing area. Of course, there are some differences. It is not working exactly the same. But if he established some path, then I'm not, trying to, I know better, let's do it differently. So that's why those buttons and also features which are available under the right click of some of the components are working exactly the same like for the model.
Cool.
Oh, okay.
So I think we will go now finally to examples. I think like everyone is we're waiting for that one, like practical examples. And I think you are going to show some examples live, right?
Yes. But let's start with start with seeing what are our expectations for the sample. Because as I said, there are 13 of them, so quite a lot of them. And in this presentation, you will always get 3 slides per sample. So there will be the screenshot before or after, then there will be some short algorithm, how it was achieved, and later some thoughts less or more meaningful about, okay, so what could be improved or what is to fix in that script. So the first one,
we will start with the basic one, like section
yes,
marks.
exactly. I try to gradually increase the difficulty and the number of different concepts which has to be incorporated in those scripts. Okay, so the first one is about the section marks, and it's just a dummy insertion, just to get you the feeling that you have the power to insert something into the drawing area. And of course, it will open the question where those objects should be placed. But for getting the general workflow, let's start with something simple. So, Chris, if you can just change the...
Yes. So we are seeing your screen right now. So we have Tekla, which we have to open first, and then Rhine and Grasshopper the same procedures. It will not work if you do it other way around, right?
Exactly. The underlying Tekla Open API works the same for both type of connectors. So here we are seeing some just linear example. It is the Holocaust lab, but it's not about the details. I just want to give you some basic steps which you have to follow to get the results. So I will just open the data viewer just to see a little more. And now, okay. So usually your work is starting with some drawing. You can open.
Can you zoom a little bit? Can you zoom a little bit more to the component? Yeah. So now we can see the name and great.
Okay, great. So you usually start with some already open drawing, or you want to open some drawing, and the drawing is the root of all of your logic. So we have to open to get this drawing object, and after that we will be able to do some things. So now let's see what we can do. So at first we have some drawing, and at the beginning we don't know what is there, so we have to query its content. So that is the main problem with the drawings itself, that at the beginning of your work you are not fully aware. Your operational awareness is not so high, so you have to get the content of the drawing and reflect to it. So here I'm getting the view, and for now it's just one view because this drawing is a quite simple one. So we have the drawing, and it has some properties. So it has some type, some name, and some coordinate systems. And in the drawing link, you have a set of some helper parameters just to streamline the process of searching, of filtering, of querying the objects. Because this is the main part for the drawing. You have to at first filter those parts which should be dimensioned or those elements which should be somehow changed. So this is why in the drawing link you will find some components which are not directly connected with the drawing itself. It's just search using key. And it is completely unaware of the drawing specific. It just gets some values, some list of values, some keys which are corresponding with those values, and some search value which you would like to find. And by doing that, for this example, I am just getting this one single view. Okay.
But just one question. If someone wants to use their own component for that, like searching through match text or something, user can use that one, of course.
Yes, exactly.
It doesn't have to be this particular component.
Sure. Yeah. Sure. The only purpose of those quality of life components was to streamline, was to help in some operations, which of course can be done in a Grasshopper. Because in Grasshopper there are a lot of different ways how you can achieve the same effect. But those are just those small pieces which are combining different things. So the purpose of this first block is just to get this view, and then it's the most important thing, I would say, that we started with the drawing itself, and this is the cast unit drawing. So we have to find out the model object to get the geometry, because you have to know that those drawing objects like this one, they don't have the direct geometry. So if I will find out the properties, I can change the properties of the visual representation. There's no connection to the model at that point. So I have to deeply under the hood go to the model. And that is the place when I combine the drawing link and the live link created by Sebastian. So here you can see that I'm using the piece from the drawing, and here I am deconstructing assembly from the model one. So wherever it is possible, I recommend to use the model live link to get the object report properties, to convert to the brep, and to try to combine those two different connectors to achieve your effects. And here I just get the brep, and it's the normal operations. I will just ungroup to have the possibility to zoom out. Okay, so now I have this brep, this hollow core contour, in a 3D workspace. So at that point, it is not casted, it is not adjusted to the drawing view. So I have to use one of the drawing components, and this is the brep projection border. And for that, you are providing the brep, the standard Rhino geometry set, and you are providing onto which plane it should be projected. And as a result, you will get, and here we can see at the top view, and here you are getting the projections, exactly like you see in the Tekla. Just a question. Chris, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay,
I'm just I just removed myself to make the screen bigger. Okay. So no worry.
Okay. It's always awkward when you are standing to the display and then am I alone? But okay. So we have the border of this brep. So now we are able to construct some of our logic. And for this sample, this logic is like just like that. Okay, so I want to get the corners of this thing to create a line, and I will use this line just to know, okay, so where exactly those section marks should be inserted. And of course, it's a completely dummy example. No one wants to insert section marks with this parametric way of working. But I just wanted to show you that, okay, so there are some helper components like this projection border, like other things which will be presented later. But you always have to do this round trip that I am starting from the drawing, I am getting the objects from the model and then casting them to the proper plane. And then I am just trying to create the points for the detail mark, and the drawing operation is only here. So as I said at the beginning, it's not the question how to insert section marks, how to insert section views, how to insert dimension lines, because it's just by providing the set of the input parameters. But the question is how to get those inputs to fit my purpose. So that is the whole point. But I'm pretty sure that it is the same for the model, that you have to at first split your drawing operations into some smaller steps and think, okay, so this thing is coming from that decision. This dimension line is connected to that model object. So that is the hardest part for the drawing automation, that you have to uncover the logic.
Yeah, create a set of rules, like dependencies.
Exactly. So
and we have one question, like, which is really interesting. But what if we have constructed the object with the live link? We still have to pick up from the drawing, or there is alternative to input it directly? So here you have modeled that, let's say, manually, and you knew that you took this information, that what objects are visible in the drawing. So you are inquiring this exactly part. So it doesn't have to be, it could be modeled manually, or it could be modeled with the Tekla live link.
It has to be in the model. What was the origin of those objects? It doesn't matter. It has to be just in the model. So if it is incorporated into the Tekla component, the standard one, or with the component from the Grasshopper, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be baked in Tekla from the Grasshopper. It can be from the live link element, but it doesn't have to be the connection with the live link broken. It's just an element, so it will be visible anyways, right?
Yes, but to enter the drawing, you have, for the assembly drawings, cast unit or single part, you need to have those models, those objects in the model. They have to be numbered, so they have to be. And this example is the first one. So we are just reading the main part of the assembly. Later, we will tweak the workflow. So we will be selecting something from the model. And I think that it will be the answer for your question, that it was just a warm-up sample. That I just wanted to highlight that it's not the question how to insert, but where those objects should be inserted. Because we all agree that what we currently see, nice, but okay, what is the purpose of it? Very, very funny that I can choose the number of those, but it's not the real sample. So now
before going to the next example, because in this workflow you showed us that you have opened and work on the active window.
Exactly.
And we have a question from Yaba. Can you do this for multiple drawings at the same time?
You can do it sequentially, iteratively. So you have to use this set of components, the loop start and loop end. So in the vanilla Grasshopper, there is no support for the loop operations. So everything is done inside of one component. Every inputs, every trees are re-evaluated at that point. And here we are getting the limitation of the Tekla API, how it is built, or maybe the Tekla itself. Because in Tekla, you can have at one point of time only one drawing opened. So you can't, as a user, have 4 different drawings open at the one time. There is only one direct connection to the one drawing, to the single drawing. So if you would like to conduct this type of an operation of any other on the drawings, then you have to do it in the loop. So then you are providing as a data the list of the drawings, and inside of the loop, inside of the body of this loop, you will open those drawings, do some magic stuff, close the drawing with the save, and the loop will iterate to the next drawing which is waiting in the queue. Later there will be example for this kind of a workflow.
Yeah, so the answer is of course, but it doesn't have to. It doesn't mean that you have to open it manually. That like Grasshopper, we open it and close it, so everything will be done. But it will just take more time because of this process, opening and closing windows. But Grasshopper can take this operation. But we can go to the next example and you can show it later on.
Okay, so now I will just delete all of those objects and I will hide them from the preview just to get the next one. Okay, and probably you were not aware, but this hollow core is cutted. So this is not the whole width. And here we are talking about something which is more practical, that you can use the drawing link to add some cuts, some missing parts, or just to draw some objects. So now I will use. Oh, sorry, this is the different sample. Sorry, my mistake. I just yeah.
So revision. It's a revision.
Yeah. That's just the cloud. That the start of the workflow will be the same. So we are just at first filtering the view. So we have to decide on which view we are going to operate. Then we have to try to find the planar projection of the objects. So for this sample, I'm getting the main part, I'm casting it, so I will get exactly as in the previous sample. So these 3 steps are the same. Select the view, get the proper geometry, and then for now I am just using different components from the set of the drawing link. So this is the polygon. So that's just the revision cloud. And as I said, that there are some components when you can change with the right click the mode of the operation. So it can be inserted as a polygon or as a cloud, just like that. And this example, its main purpose was to show you that those primitive objects, that they can be tweaked, their visual appearance that can be changed with a set of attributes. So we can, of course, change the colors, we can change the line type of those objects, and it can be changed like that. So as you said, it can be the revision cloud, but just to give you the feeling that, okay, I am starting exactly the same. So I'm filtering the views, filtering the parts, but then I will process it in a different manner to fit different needs, just like that.
So you can tell me. So you tell me right now, if I'm having 100 drawings on my Tekla model, and in all of them I have to give a revision cloud for every single part. Let's say I'm going to find one beam, so I can go through 100 and give the same cloud for every single element and give the revision, and give the even revision name and so on for the UDAs.
Yes, but you need to be able to filter them. So that's
of course. Yes. If you're finding the right beam for every single object, I know the rules, but I just want to tell like the principles, like a big project, and I'm having like this kind of task, so it sounds really amazing.
Yeah, but you know what you already specified is at the beginning the highest rewarding task. That's there's a plenty of drawing number, and the type of the operation, it's not hard to imagine. You know, the logic behind is quite easy to follow. So of course it can be done together with those loop, start, loop, end, and then your logic, which should be performed on a single drawing.
Cool.
So okay, it was the second, the next warm-up sample, and now I will again disable the preview, and now the third one.
Should we show PowerPoint presentation, or you would like to?
Oh, okay, I forgot, of course. So this is okay. So this is the sample which we had the state before at the top. So it's just the hollow core, and at the beginning we don't know that it is not the full width. Of course, if it will be the dimension line, then it will be much easier. But what we are going to insert are those missing regions for those hollow cores, and also this dimension line. So now we will be a little more real sample, I would say, not so dummy as the previous. So let's find out how it will work, because here we will feel the main benefits of using the Grasshopper. So the script, it has inserted some regions, but how was it done? So again, I am getting the source of the drawing. I am using the lifelink component to get the main part, and I am using the convert to brep. But here there are different types of converting to breps. So it can be, you know, with a different mode to take different type of Boolean objects. So it can be done, and later after I will get the projections of those objects, like now we see here this region difference. This is the inbuilt components in the Grasshopper, and for the Grasshopper guys, it's no-brainer to use this type. But for me, as a software developer, if you ask me that I have to get the difference between two different polygons, then I will have to find out some third-party library which is able to conduct it. And when I felt that, hey, this is just like that, this is here, the whole geometry stuff, the whole moving, sorting, getting the intersections, unions, all of it is inbuilt in the Grasshopper. I would say that was the moment when I felt, okay, it's quite powerful. So with the help of this region difference, we are able to insert the polylines. And here we are inserting two polylines, because as a result of those differences, I get two curves. So I get two Rhino curves, which are inserted into the Tekla with the help of the polyline. And this component.
So it's just a rectangulars. So it's just rectangulars around that missing parts, right?
Exactly. And how it was achieved? Once again, so I have used the model convert to brep, but twice with a different settings, with a different solid types. And yeah, you will have to find out which solid types will give the best results for your typical work. But okay, here we have the same building block as previously. So just to get the first view with some type, the polyline insertion has some different options. So as previously, we can change the line, the line type. But what is, I would say, the most interesting here is these vertical dimensions. So after turning on this flag, I have inserted some dimensions. And they are here, maybe not so fancy, but how they will get. So I had some boxes, and I am getting the corners of them because for that particular it is the best. But usually for the dimension lines, the question is not only about which points should be dimensioned, because those points were dimensioned, the corners of those areas, but where this dimension line should be placed. And it can be tricky because the drawing space is quite limited. Should it be on the right or on the left? And that's why I decided to create more quality of life components like this viewing direction. So it is just a stored different vectors, that it has the different direction vectors, that when you're looking from the left, it provides you the unit X vector. If it is from the right, it is the negative value. But for the newcomers, it's not so easy to think in terms of the unit X, unit Y, what is going on with all of those vectors. So that's why some things like this viewing direction are just migrated in some value list. It is inside, just to make it a little easier to start. And of course, it can be replaced with just simple construct vector, and you can provide any direction which you would like. But for the newcomers, it should help. And then this component, which is also part of the drawing link, its main purpose is to find the visible edges. So how does it work? It gets some curve, and this curve is just a boundary of your element. So usually you want to insert the dimension lines not inside of your element, but outside. So you have to get somehow the boundary, and it can be the full boundary, or it can be just the union. It depends on your needs. And then with the help of these find visible edges and the viewing direction, you are able to very quickly get what is the limit, what is the boundary. And starting from that point, you are just trying to move a little on one side or another side. And
so just making offset. It's just making offset, right?
Yes. At that point, exactly, the combination of those three components. And as a result, you get the location. So, as I said, for the dimension lines, you need to know what points should be picked, but also where this line should be placed. And the logic behind it can vary, but you can do it quickly with this find visible edges component.
And by inserting dimension line manually, actually you have to do the same, right? You have to click the point, and then you have to pick up like the position from the boundary. So the logic is the same.
Exactly, but yeah, the logic is the same, but the way how your brain has to think, because usually engineers they just know that I have to click here. This is the best spot, but it's quite hard to transfer this type of a decision making into the script. So okay, but why? Because the opening, because some bolts, because something. So you always have to uncover those business rules to make it happen. And as a result, I get the dimension line, which was the set of those 1, 2, 3, 4 points. And that's all. So I think that this is the first, maybe someone will use it, the concept of it. So we can draw some objects, some missing objects, and also we can insert dimension lines. And later we will make much more dimension lines. So this is just a next warm-up sample.
That's cool. Should we go to the next one?
Yes. And as you said, let's at first show
So now we are going to reinforcement.
Yes, and here what we have a section. We have a section of some beam. And the task is to insert the dimension line for the vertical straight rebars. So, sorry, no vertical, horizontal rebars.
Horizontal, yeah.
Exactly. The dimension line will be vertical. So again, we have at the beginning filter those objects. And for this sample, the filtering will be much more, maybe not complicated. This is not the best word, but it will show more components. I'm just changing the view in Tekla, the drawing. Okay. So here I will
just one. I will just turn my camera off, but I will be here, so don't worry. You can continue.
Okay. So here I will present a different workflow, because previously, as you said, we had some active drawing and let's go. But the drawing link gives you the opportunity to pick some drawing objects or some drawing views. So for this sample, I will ask the user, so hey, I just want to pick some object. And I will pick this section and something will happen. So I just wanted to show you that this tool can operate for the whole of the views, only for the selected of the type. You can arrange those inputs however you would like. And as I said, here we have to find out what is visible in that view. So I will be using a different set of components. For example, I will get the objects from view. So this component is also the part of the drawing link, and how it works. For the specified view, it returns the objects which are there. So, okay, I now know that there is one part, there are 6 reinforcement groups and 4 single dimensions, single rebars, but I am not interested, for example, in that part, because the whole task for this script is just to take into account the rebars. So I am filtering out. So I'm trying to search from those drawing objects by the key. And here is a monstrous component which combines all of the possible drawing objects. So those things you can encounter on the drawing in Tekla.
So you can just select. So you can just select, and you will get this object.
Exactly. So those can be selected just to streamline your searching operation. And then from the initial tree of 3 different branches, I'm getting only those which are fitting those rules. And then quite typical conversion. We have to transfer from the drawing parts to the model parts. And then, as was in the requirements, we should take into account only the rebars, which are straight one. So here I am grouping all of those model objects by the property. And here I am providing the name of the property, like you would do in Tekla in the selection filter. So if I would just get this one, then it works the same for the model as in the drawing. So here I am just getting from the Tekla database the values for some properties. And
but it can be class or name or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. As you said, from the predefined things, you can group objects very quickly by the assembly position, by the part position, by the name class, or by the UDA, or by the report property. So here you have the plenty of possibilities because you will provide the name of this property, and as a result, those input model objects, they will be grouped. So, okay, after this grouping, I received a tree with 2 branches. So the first one has the shape equal to 1, so those are the straight one, and the second one has the shape equal to 14, and those are those stirrups. And the corresponding tree with the model objects is like that. So on that particular view, I have 8 straight rebars and 2 stirrups. And I had to group them because it was the requirement of the task. And after that, when I have them, just distinguished into different buckets, I have to pick the right one. And for this, I am only thinking about the straight ones. So I am still using the search using key, and by the key, and here it is the shape number 1. And then, as you said, I am grouping the second time those filtered objects. So it can be treated as a set of filters. So firstly, filter out the straight rebars, then let's go with the classes. And for the classes, here I have 3 different classes, the 14, 2, and 3, because this reinforcement is coming from some Tekla inbuilt component, which is meant to insert the reinforcement for the beams. Then I know that for the top rebars, it is the number 14. And here I would just give a remark what you, Chris, asked about those 100 of the drawings and some repetitive operation that you would like to insert some clouds. So you have to establish some rules. And usually every company has some rules in the modeling. And based on those rules, you can filter out objects, you can group them, you can perform some drawing operations. But without the consistent way of modeling, the drawing link is not the AI. It will not just guess and propose, I think that it should work like that. You have to create a specific recipe with which objects should be treated in which way.
You have to know, have a good standards from the beginning. But just a one aside note, because if, of course, we are using the great way to filter all the objects, but is it a way like you can just pick from the drawing element as it is in the Tekla Drawing Link with the params?
Yes, of course. You can pick single rebar
and just connect that and have this information, and that's it.
Yes.
It's not the smartest way of doing that, but it's possible.
Yeah. But of course, you can pick them by hand, and also they are highlighted. Maybe it is not very visible, but it's highlighted the same as in the model object. So when you are clicking this param, then you will get so what is behind of that. So those objects, of course, can be directly inputted to the script. But after filtering those top rebars, I think that this component is maybe interesting, because at the moment when I was writing this component, it was not available to extract rebar.
It's still not available. Actually, it's still not available.
Yeah. So of course you could do that with some combination of the expand object and getting the
points
the
and
the
polygons.
Yeah. So, but here is just this quality of life. So here you can get the reinforcement properties like the geometry, and exactly it is about the geometry. So you can get the geometry. I will just change for the perspective, I think. Okay. So here I am just getting the geometry of those rebars, and for the purpose of this specific task, I will need to find out the start points, because these dimension lines are attached to the start points of those rebars. So the rest of the flow is just getting proper orientation on the 2D space, getting some points. injecting the boundary of the concrete, because for that point we were only considering those rebars. We were talking about the top one, so those and those, but usually you don't want to get the dimension line only for the rebars itself, but it has to be attached to the concrete, so it has to be measurable somehow. So that is another part of this script when you are trying to find out the edges of the beam itself. So here is the projection, and I'm just trying to see it from the left, but if I would try from the right, I'm just showing that, okay, this geometry, this LB beam from the right on the edges are those one, this one straight line. From the left, those are two edges visible. You can use it if you need that. Okay, and what I just want to show more. Okay, so here, same story as before. You can think of the placement of this dimension on the left or on the right. And if it's grabbed with such, very easy to change value list, then it's very easy to just manipulate. Okay, where do I have more space on the drawing view? So it can be changed. And okay. I'm just trying to remember where this sample is ending. Okay, so this is the end, and at the end I am inserting two dimensional lines, but I want them to be in the same location. So as you can see from the point of the inputs, I'm providing exactly one view. I'm providing two lists of points in a form of a tree, but I want them to be located exactly in the same line, because I'm pretty confident that those top rebars, they will not mess up with the bottom, and I want to save the space on the drawing side. Of course, they could be moved, but yeah, why? Okay. So that is the sample which will insert the dimension lines for the rebars.
Cool.
Okay.
And the next one, I can just go to presentation. I think we are not going to show all the examples, but let's maybe just try with next two. First with the marking the details cutting line.
Yeah, and this sample is, it was raised by one of the users on GitHub. So he had some problem or just a question, I don't remember exactly, but from his screens, I get this feeling that, can you, Chris, change the presentation?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So from his screenshots, I get the feeling that he's trying to do something like that. So this is the situation when you have some part of your element in a more, with a bigger scale. You have to create some detail, and there are requirements that you have to add some additional lines on the when this detail is ending. The old Tekla users are, they are saying, it can be done, don't waste our time. But this sample, I want to show that because it will at one point provide two different workflows. So it will show that you can insert the drawing plugin. And this is exactly why I choose this sample, because it's quite easy to understand. Everyone follows that, okay, I need to place those lines, and I don't want to do it because why? But okay, I'm ready. So if you can just show.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay, so this is the detail, and this is this script. So here again, I will pick the view which I want to operate, and then those lines are created. And okay, the logic behind of it that you will see it when you will open the script. But here again, we are seeing the power of Grasshopper. That this is the planar projection of that area. That we had some view, some view restriction box. So what range of the 3D we are seeing, we are watching. We have the B-rep, so this long beam, and of course they have the intersection part So I am getting the difference of that, and based on that, I am able to find the points where those lines should be inserted. And now those lines are inserted as a line. So just a simple Tekla line inserted by the drawing link. But here I wanted to show you that you can do this such an operation with the help of the Tekla plugin. And as I said, there's a numerous number of Tekla plugins. They are quite good, but their main problem is that you have to insert them manually.
And you have to click it anyways. You have to click it anyways.
Exactly. So I would say that this is the low-hanging fruit for those who would like to try the drawing link, that if you are using the plugins, then you could try to do it in that way, because now I have also marked this section line, but with the help of the Tekla plugin. So when I know what is the input type, how those input values, input objects, input points, how they should be arranged, then I can insert the plugin. And that's all from that sample, that the Tekla plugins, the drawing plugins, can be inserted with the drawing link, which is quite, I would say, convenient, because before that you had to manually pick the right objects on the drawings, and yeah, it's quite.
And of course, if you have several details, like say 10 details on the one drawing, so you can just do it with the one click. So let's go to one of the last examples. Maybe this one will be really interesting, because this one can be really nice one, because you could not do that with the Grasshopper live link, right? Transferring drawing UDAs to model objects.
Yeah, that was the sample when I was thinking, is it even possible? So that I am sometimes trying to find out what strange combinations of the drawing and modeling can be achieved, and this is one of them. So the main point of that sample is to copy the UDAs from the drawing to the original model objects. So let's take, for example, this hollow core slab. So usually on the drawings, you have to set some dates, some who has checked it, etc. And there are sometimes needs that you have to pass this data from the drawing to the model itself. So the main purpose of this component, of this set of scripts, of this sample number 6, is to provide that opportunity. So how it will work, I will just enable those two components, because this is the Tekla object pipeline, which, for that model will take some time just to query all of those assemblies. And it is needed because the drawing itself, it has only one source. So the assembly drawing has one assembly in the model, which is directly connected. The cast unit, the story is the same. But of course, in the model, you can have numerous multiple instances of that cast unit position or of this assembly position. And you want to synchronize this data, not only for this direct connection between one model object and one drawing, but with all of those model objects connected to that drawing. So that's why this transferring is also querying the model data. So it is working. It is working. Okay, today we have the 10th. Yeah, this sample is just like that I am setting the date in the drawing. I will just check the UDA on the model side. It is empty. No dates are filled in. And here I have the one drawing selected on the list. So this is a different workflow. So I'm not working on the active drawing. I'm not selecting something in the drawing space, but I am just using the component selected drawings. And how it works, it just returns everything what you currently selected in the document manager or drawing list, however you name it. And as a result, I will just refresh these UDAs, and I get this check data. Because this is it's just that's okay. So this can be tweaked, but okay.
But if you go deeper and higher, so actually you can prepare all the Excel spreadsheet, and you can give this information and give automatically based on this Excel spreadsheet all the information in Tekla automatically, right?
If you can handle the logic behind of that, then of course you can set get UDAs. You can also set some of the drawing properties. So those name, title 1, 2, 3. So they can be changed also if you want. I don't know, for example, set all of those titles in a different matter than just you are using the combination of the selected drawings, and then they will be iteratively changed, the name, title, etc.
Cool. So we have lots of questions that actually I think the 6 examples showed lots of opportunities. I think like any Grasshopper Tekla users or even Tekla users see the possibilities. Just let us know in the comments if you see the possibilities to automate that at your work. We are going to share all these 6 examples for now that Greg showed us, because it will be easier to follow. Maybe the rest we are going to organize the next workshop. What do you think, Greg? To go to tell more about that in the near future, because today we will not have more time. I would like to ask some questions.
Yeah, especially that the next samples are much bigger, both in the number of things which are going on, but also in the complexity, I would say. That, so I will just give just some naming that okay. So I think that the most spectacular one are the things related to the part marks. So okay, we have some looping and single part bolts, but yeah, this one. And this is the fresh thing, the new exciting development, because one user wanted to get the information about the position of the part marks, rebar marks, but also he wanted to rearrange it. So I will just sorry if we will
but I see that you would like to really show that one, so let's go for this one.
Yeah, because no one likes to reposition part marks. And here I have some drawing from a sample model. When I have those kind of part marks, and something has gone terribly wrong, and how they should be positioned. And of course, I will present very, very, very simple workflow. But for this set of part marks, I will just get the view where they are placed, and then the content, it will be loaded. What is going on? I misclicked.
I think it's maybe thinking.
Yeah. It was getting all of the model objects, because there's a lot of them. And here, just give me a second. I would like to outline the parts which don't have the mark, but I think that they should have. So some kind of a checking procedure that, okay, I get the drawing, and at the first point, it seems okay, but the devil is in details. So if I will just insert the polygons around them, then I will get that, okay, so in those areas, there are some objects which are accepted by the previous filtering, which are not, which don't have the part mark, like this one. Maybe it should not have, but maybe it should. So it's always, and this is like that. So just to show you that it can be used even for some verification of that everything is done. But okay, this is this, and then I would say that, okay, there will be the rule that the horizontal beams, like this one, that their part mark should be placed along the beam, but a little below. So I will modify those marks. And they all have been changed according to the rule. Of course, someone would argue that this rule is stupid. Okay, please write your own rule according to your needs, because everyone has a little different ideas how those should be. And then, for example, those vertical columns. Here also some workflow how it could be inserted. It is inserted to the middle of the beam height. And then the last one, all the others. So by the filtering, we get all of the others, and they are rotated somehow and offsetted somehow. And now this is also visible in Rhino. So you are getting those. I'm not deconstructing, so I will just deconstruct mark. And sorry, Chris, I was for taking.
No worry. Take your time.
But I really like the outcome. And here we see.
So you can see everything the same as in Rhino. Nice.
So yeah, it is in the Tekla Open API. I'm just wrapping what is there. So if you would like to, to try that you get the better logic for the part marks, rebar marks, then you can. But it will be tricky.
We have the comment from Tautevidas, amazing example with marks. And I think when we are going deeper, it will be more and more. That was the aim, to start with really simple, to just give you a feeling that is really not that complicated. Of course, you have to know rules, but you can do really amazing things. We will go to a question soon. Let me there were some questions again. A recording will be available on the learngrasshopper.com/workshop Tekla Drawing. And the 6, maybe this the last one also, we will going to share with you. And on the rest, maybe we are organizing a workshop. So it will be. But we have also a huge, big announcement together with Greg today that we, as you know, I 2 years ago, 1.5 years ago, I started to build a Grasshopper community with the Grasshopper Fundamentals project. And Grasshopper is so wide. Grasshopper can be used in the many different software with the Tekla, with Revit, with FEMdesign, Sophistic, and so on. Almost all the softwares in the AAC. But for me, as a Tekla user, I've been using Tekla for 10 years. It was missing this part, like this building a community. Of course, we have some forums, but everyone is working in the different companies, so they don't want to share their knowledge. And I really like this workshop with you, Greg, or with Tautevidas from Doka, that we are sharing our experience and we are giving the scripts available. And this is the idea came to create the new training and to create something, a new community that will be particular for this part, for the Grasshopper and Tekla usage. So I started 2 years ago building this project that actually you can build after this training with this program. You can tackle your toughest problems and automate all the boring stuff in Tekla structure, as Greg showed, with all the part marks or the dimension, but also with the old modeling. And the big announcement is that the training is 95% finished, and it will be announced the date will be announced soon, but it will start in May. So I would like to give a tip that you can already register for the waiting list. So as I said, you can go already to grasshopperintekla.com and you can register your email. It doesn't matter if you've been on my mailing list before. By going to grasshopperintekla.com, you can register your email and get as a first one to notification before the official start. And why it's so important? This is important because this project starts in May, but this will be a first edition of the project. And I would like to keep this group really limited. There will be not that all of people will get the access to that, because I try to keep it close. I try to get a feedback first of the exercises. Maybe users can give some other projects, so we can give another examples, build another lessons. So if you will register, so you will be first receive information about Grasshopper in Tekla. And I'm happy to have Greg with me because Greg, he is recording already. Some of part were recorded for the Grasshopper drawing part. So this is as Greg showed today, in addition to Grasshopper Live Link, that we have all these components that Sebastian prepared, we have also Greg with his module that will be about this all drawing links. And this is just this was just a small sample of the things that you can do, but of course you can go much deeper and learn more about that one. So for everyone who is interested in the automating repetitive tasks in Tekla, and to get access to the supportive knowledge sharing Tekla user community, and I think this is, for me, it's most important. As you, Greg, you have this on GitHub, the forum where the users give a feedback and you can just fix your plugin. The same for me, this Tekla user community of the particular Grasshopper, it's really important because I really want to create a community that supports each other. Doesn't matter where people are working, that actually we are sharing our knowledge, how we can automate, that actually we can change the AAC industry. So again, it's not we are not starting the selling our project. We are just announcing that you are on this workshop, so you are getting this information. So we have also your cat here.
Yes. I had to. He is with us.
No worries.
He's
No
very
worries.
carefully listening.
He also will like to join this training. So if you are interested, just go to Grasshopper in Tekla, register your email, and you will get all the notification. Okay, let's go to some comments. So we have that one. Maybe start. I think this one from Max. It's really can be really interesting. Let me see. Would you also upload the file through Grasshopper component, or do you work in the live link stand alone? And I think it was also, this was from Max, and I think that similar was about. Is there any way to turn a Grasshopper script with drawing link into a user form to be used inside Tekla, something similar to the Tekla Grasshopper component? So what is your thoughts about that?
Okay, so definitely Grasshopper component cannot be used for the drawings because it is the model component, so it will not work anyway. So because of that, I started the work to write something similar, but for the drawings. And I really believe that this is the best idea. And also in the previous webinar, Tautovides, which had a great presentation with a lot of mind-blowing examples, he said that usually in the company there is only a small set of those Grasshopper superheroes who are creating the scripts, and the rest of the people are rather afraid. So they are just the utilizers of scripts of the others. So if it can be wrapped with some fancy interface and you will just get run and the magic will happen on the drawing, then it will be nice. So the development has been started, but it is not completed, and I will not promise any dates. So I hope that it will be completed before the vacation, before the holidays, but it needs more careful thinking about the side effects. So the work is ongoing, but please be patient.
Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to that one, and for sure, if it will be implemented in the Grasshopper drawing link, so probably it will be also in the training, right?
Yes. Of course. But the training is the most important at that stage, because when you are a creator, it's very easy to just create new stuff, more components. Let's put more effort on that. But then you realize that you end with a lot of them, and the knowledge how to connect all of those different components is only in your head. And that's the main problem now that I really feel that this knowledge has to be spread. And your training is a best opportunity to give you more insights how those components are working, how they should be connected. Because as you saw during this webinar, the drawing link is not working alone. It is always asking the model, the live link part, hey, where are those points? What are the report properties? What is the shape of those numbers? So it is not that you will only master the drawing link, because this is just a little brother of the live link. So the combination of those two will give you the biggest benefits.
Yeah, looking forward to this one. Let's answer some question. Hi, Greg. I have it already, but I grabbed that before 6-7 months. So if there's any changes, I think you showed this video with all the changes. I think it was 500 commits in the last year. So I will answer that. Yes. It's definitely a lot of changes. Next question, is this applicable for both parties and assemblies?
Here I would need more specification if you are thinking about the single part drawings and assembly drawings, or parts in the model or assemblies in the model. But for both of those questions, the answer is yes. It can read the content of different model objects, and it can work on different type of the drawings.
Yeah. Niklavas, is it possible to apply scripts by defining view placement, let's say in Rhino space, and then apply to drawing, like selecting in Drawing Manager without opening them?
I will start from the end because it's much easier.
Mm-hmm.
You can't fully manipulate into the drawing space without opening the drawing. You can open the drawing in a hidden mode, so as a user you will not see the black screen of Tekla and all of those drawing stuff, but it has to be opened in the background. And of course, opening it in the hidden mode is much faster than fully rendering of those objects. But going into the first side, I would say that I need more context how it should work, in your opinion, because of course you can move views according to your rules, but for that I'm not sure what is the input. So you can work on many drawings, you can move them, and the question is how you want to provide the logic of those movements.
Correct. Thanks. Alexander, is it possible to automate with Grasshopper creating view in Tekla by 2-3 points, and then in Tekla Drawing Link choose this model view?
One of the samples which we have not covered was about the model views. That's on the GA drawing, you want to get this specific model view. And there is also the component that it will list all of the predefined model views. So it is possible. And that's all for now.
Yeah. Anders, will the Tekla drawing will be available at the Tekla warehouse in the future? I already talked about that. Greg got support from Trimble about one developer to help him with developing also plugins, and we talked about maybe in the future it will be available in the warehouse. So maybe it will be possible, but we cannot promise. That's a lot of questions. Let me see. Let's to Oni. Is there a reason you are using the Boolean toggle to activate the drawing? Because I'm opening a drawing by first selecting the element from the model with the model object tool from Grasshopper. And he's continuing, and then the tool opens the drawing. I'm wondering if there is problem with my approach method.
There are two different components. The first one is for the opening the drawing. So this is the case when you are in the model and you know which drawing you want to open. So you have something selected on the drawing list, or you get the drawing connected with the model object. So this is the component open drawing. And also there is the separate component with this Boolean toggle to get the active drawing. So that is just the place when you are asking Tekla, hey, what is currently opened? Because I would like to work on that. So I think that only you can raise an issue on GitHub to provide more information, preferably with some screenshots or even Grasshopper script, because it seems that we just have to find the proper way to resolve your idea.
And he's continuing, when releasing new tool, could you upload short video, for example, that show how the tool is used? Asking this because sometimes the inputs and outputs seems a bit odd. And because of this question, actually, we started to work together with Greg, because we knew that this is a problem, that it's not maybe everything is straightforward in the drawing. Maybe some things can be a little bit odd at the first time. That's why we are creating a separate module for the Grasshopper Drawing Link when Greg will explain the components. That's correct, Greg?
Yes. This is the free project, and you can get it however it is. So there's always the question how my free time should be separated. Should I provide more features, or should I focus on the tutoring, on the instructing how it should be used? And
so now it's instruct. So now we are going into instruct,
1
year of developing. Now we will going to instruct, get the feedback, and then maybe will be more. A question from Marius. How do you work with local and global coordinate system? Oh, this is interesting. Sometimes, for example, a column can have the same position in Rhino as in Tekla, and the plates are rotated 90 degrees.
Okay, so each view has two different coordination systems. The one which was initially created with the view coordination system, and the second one is the display coordination system, which is taking into account your rotations of the views. So when you are asking the view about the properties, you are getting two different coordination systems, and usually you are working on those display ones. So you are getting the model object in the current model coordination systems, and then you are projecting it, you are orienting it to the view specific, because each view has a little different coordination systems. It can be attached in a different origin, or it can has completely different X and Y axis.
Cool. Is it possible to automate the template in the drawing?
Yeah, and at the end of this presentation, there are some limitations of the link, but mainly about the Tekla Open API. And the templates, unfortunately, they are invisible for the Tekla Open API, so the drawing link itself will not return any information about the placement of the templates, their sizes. Those objects don't exist in the Tekla Open API.
Yeah. Have you tried to work with the 3D view? Let's say like you have an object and you would like to export it into as a 3D, not 2D, to Tekla Drawing.
You can definitely create the 3D view because it's just a matter of direction of the viewing, and then probably you can insert the dimensionalized text, all of those other objects. But I have not tried it. Maybe Polari, if you will find some users that I'm quite curious how it can influence.
Tekla 23 drawing section has a tool called Add Dimension to Rebars. Could this be also added to Grasshopper Tekla drawing tool? It would help creating reinforcement views a lot.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure about the new feature in the Tekla 2023. I don't recall it, but anytime in the drawing when you face some missing features, then there is just one answer: record the macro and trigger it in your Grasshopper script. So in the drawing link, there is the component run macro, and it can operate on the model or in the drawing. And there is plenty of things which are not covered in the drawing API itself. And there is a constant answer at the Tekla forum: just use macro. And unfortunately, it has to be done in such way when the Open API lacks of that kind of objects.
Mario, the data viewer window is from standard Grasshopper or from the drawing link? I can answer is the standard. I think Michael answered that one. It's you can go to view and data viewer. Actually, not many Grasshopper users know about this one. So I think I have to make a separate post on LinkedIn about that. Let me see just more questions.
Just a comment that for me as a the text style developer, for me the possibility of debugging by seeing the internals of those variables is the most important. So for me, it's a must-have component.
Yeah. Let me see. Let's go to, so I cannot see more questions. I think we answered most of them. I'm not sure if you know, can we publish Grasshopper script with drawing link to web application through Victor? I don't know if you are familiar with Victor.
I even installed at some time their standalone client. And as I get how it works, I will not promise anything. I have not tried it. So Mario, sorry, I will not promise that it is working correctly or not. But let's stay it like that, because I will tell that it works, and then you will follow me and catch me in Poland and say, hey, you said that it is working.
Yeah, but maybe it can work. We have lots of comments. Polari, the demo is awesome, inspired me to explore so many ways of doing. Thank you, Greg, for this meeting. Again, if someone is interested in exploring more Grasshopper Tekla Drawing Link and Grasshopper Live Link, so you can secure your place. As I said, the places in there will be only one edition in 2024 and with limited places. So we can really try to keep this group small that are really supporting each other. And there is also, I would like to announce two next workshop in May. Actually, we are going to have two of them. First one, it will be more practical. First one, second, more practical. We are going to show more practical examples how we can use Tekla in building projects. We are going to go into the prefab elements. So Greg, your kind of interest. So we are going to prefab steel elements, but more in the building. As you showed at the start, we started with Ranselva showing like potential of the bridges, and like everyone know the potential in the bridges because of the curve line. But actually more and more projects is giving great results with using Grasshopper, not just 3D modeling, but also giving UDAs, also building quality assurance tools. This can be really cool. Assignings, I'm going to show 7 great game-changing examples of how to use Tekla and Grasshopper in building projects. And 1 week after, we are going to talk about Tekla in bridge design. So if you are on my mailing list, so for sure you will get information about that. Okay, let me see. I will make both of us here. Okay, so we have Cost of Comment Powell. Thank you for this tutorial. Good job. Thanks for sharing. Gabriel Navas. We have Gabriel Navas from Trimble. That's good to have people from Trimble on our workshop. Thank you guys. Awesome tool. Great presentation. Thank you again, Greg. I hope this project will grow. And as you said, now our mission is to teach people, to spread this knowledge. You know this. Who knows this Grasshopper drawing link better than you? So you are a really good teacher. Looking forward to all the materials. I will be one of your students as well. So I'm really looking forward to this one. Oh, Jesus, how many good comments. Agnieszka, we have Weeks. Thank you. Thank you, Timo. Good job. Good job. Jesus. It was good presentation. I can say that it was good presentation. So again, thank you, Greg, for this inspiring and motivating to download the Grasshopper drawing link, and hope to maybe you prepared more examples, so we can maybe make one more workshop about that. What do you say?
The time is always the hardest thing, but I think that we can talk about it.
Definitely. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you everyone for attendance, and hope to see you in May on 2 new workshop. Bye bye.